Welcome to another episode of Sanford Says. My name is Lisa Holder, Chief Communications and Cultural Affairs Administrator for the City of Sanford, and I have the pleasure of hosting Sanford Says. Today we have a great topic, and it's called It Starts with Parks. And my guest today is Benson Josue. He is the Parks Superintendent for the City of Sanford. Welcome, Benson.
Hey, I'm back.
You're back. It's been a while, but we're so glad you're back because what's the best thing to talk about but parks? I mean, that's
Gotta love it.
So cool. Yes. And so there's several things that we'd like to promote during this episode, and it all has to do with our city parks.
Yes.
And so let's jump right in. We're going to talk about May and the relationship between the FRPA, which
Yes.
stands for
Florida Recreation Parks and Association.
and then the NRPA, which stands for National Recreation and Parks Association.
Yes.
Okay, we use acronyms here in government, but we're trying not to do that, folks. So let's have it. What's going on, Benson, in the parks world?
So the cool thing, I think the amazing thing about this podcast today that's called It Start with Parks. So if you actually just think about it as when you were growing up, where's the first time that you meet your best friend? Where's the first time that you had your first encounter with a bully, or the first time you got in trouble, you had great memories? It starts at a park.
Yeah.
It always starts at a park. I think that's what's the dope thing about any park that you go to is that the memories are everlasting at any park that you go to. If you think about your first park encounter, it's a great, great memory that's attached to it.
Yeah, and parks are free, right? I mean, unless you're going to like one of these other attractions down 30, 40 miles from here. Parks are public spaces, and they are free, and they're maintained by
the Parks
Parks
Department. And so the cool thing, yes, they are free. So the good thing about city parks, especially neighborhood parks, that we have 27 neighborhood parks. And so with those 27, if you look at your neighborhood, I would say probably about less than a mile. If you just walk out or you Google, you'll see a park. And that park definitely has some type of green space or a playground or a shelter. It has something there for you to enjoy with your families. And that's the cool thing about Sanford, because we purposely put parks around each neighborhood. So, yes, it's all free. You can come out, enjoy.
Yeah, that's really great. And so the month of May, you were just sharing with me, is something really special that the FRPA is promoting, and we're still in the month of May, so we
Yes.
want to share this. And what is that?
So pretty much for the month of May, it's a national thing, but the FRPA definitely pushes this agenda, which is Mental Health Awareness Month. And it's something that we all, deal with, some good, some bad. One thing that I remember in one of the classes that I took before in leadership, a Seminole, definitely is that trauma can be passed down, or, mental awareness can be passed down. And so anytime you look around, sometimes we get so much negative things that's passed on to us. But the great thing is that our parks, it helps out so much with dealing with those things. So one of the missions of this week that FRPA put out was that just go out, eat outside, bring a colleague, and enjoy the outdoor. So imagine if you're able to just go outside, breathe in the fresh air. Like we just had a storm, but then with this week, as you can tell, Monday and Tuesday, it's beautiful skies, right? It's beautiful outside. Enjoy our outside. Go to our Veterans Memorial. Go to the Riverwalk. Go to the downtown. Go to Fort Mellon. Go to any one of our sites from your job. Enjoy a lunch. Enjoy your colleague, and create those memories that the parks are there for.
Yeah, I mean, even, ride your bike to wherever you need to go to, and your family and friends. It's just so nice when it just means a lot and does something to your health and wellness, is to be outside in the sunshine, in nature, and around in these green spaces. And it doesn't cost anything to just take your family to a outside part, your friends, or even by yourself, you know, and just recharge by just enjoying nature, hearing the birds, and sitting under a nice shaded canopy from a tree, and just taking it all in. And
so the cool thing, right? So there's two different fun facts, right? So last time I was here, I spoke about the trees. So being Tree City in Sanford, it's one of the best benefits to me, because I am on the park side, is that the trees they create as a detox for our air. So the more and more we become urbanized, the trees itself, it definitely just detox the air, the pollution that's being created through the cars that we drive, through the foods that we create. And so that's one fun fact about going to a park, that you're getting that grade A, air, that oxygen that you need. And on top of that also is that, with mental health, sometimes we may need to go see a professional, but sometimes you just can't afford it. And so sometimes you want to be able to do something that's free to be able to reduce the stress levels that you're having when you had a bad day. And so 20 to 30 minutes of actually being outside into any parks, doing any type of recreation, if it's just walking, sitting under a tree, will reduce your levels of stress. Imagine that. Something free as going to a park that's down the street. Yeah. You're able to actually enjoy and reduce your stress levels just for 20 to 30 minutes a day. Yeah. Just think about that for a second.
Yeah, that's true. It definitely is true. And just, imagine and thank the city of Sanford to offering those neighborhood parks, and just the opportunity and access to these parks is just a wonderful thing. And we keep saying that, reiterating it in this episode, but it's so true. It's the environment, your surroundings, the atmosphere, nature. It all helps with your mental wellness, and it's just we have a lot of access for everyone to enjoy, right, Benson? Yes. And then, so speaking of that, so in particular, we want to promote something coming up in June called the Family Health and Family Fitness Day. Yes. Can you share with our listeners a little bit more about that?
Yes. Please. So, it's something that I just realized myself because I was able to join the NRPA, thankfully, and just being able to read up more upon it. It's something that's been going on for years, and I want Sanford to be able to just start creating more bonds with family and just their loved ones and next door neighbors. So on June 11th, it's an initiative that everybody in Sanford comes out to a park. And I would say there are some areas that can take on that type of grunt. So I would say definitely Fort Mellon to historic Goldsboro Trail to the Riverwalk. Definitely just come out with your loved ones, your mother, your auntie, your daughter, your wife, your spouse, whatever may be the case. Come out, knock on each other's doors, say, hey, it's June 11th, meet me outside. And when you go outside, definitely enjoy being able to, get fit together. And it's not something where you have to do these crazy exercises and these boot camps. Nah, you can simply just go outside and have a walk. That's all you can do. That's all you need to do. It's just creating that bond, strengthening the relationships with one another, and just being able to just talk to one another, especially since we just coming off of the pandemic and everything like that. Growing and strengthening relationships in Sanford is a big thing. And I feel as if in the parks department, in the parks itself, it's easy because, again, we talked about it earlier, where is it easy to start relationships? At a park. Yeah. Because you see somebody like, hey, you're outside. Hey, I'm outside too. Let's talk. And that's it. And so that's the cool thing. So June 11th, definitely join us, join everybody for Family Health Fitness Day. Tell everybody. Definitely it's going to be all day. So even if you're not an early morning person, you want to wake up at noon and enjoy it. If you want to wake up at 6 p.m. and enjoy it, all in all, definitely these sites will be open until sundown, and enjoy these sites on June 11th.
There you go. And so there's information on our website, sanfordfl.gov, and we'll be sharing some on our social media. But it says here that Family Health and Fitness Day is June 11th, celebrated the second Saturday in June each year. And this special day promotes the importance of parks and recreation and keeping communities healthy and active. And we want to keep our city, our city of Sanford, healthy and active. And it's so important. So as Benson said, come on out. He's particularly, of course, Fort Mellon, our Riverwalk Goldsboro Trail, but on that day, maybe go to their website, the National Recreation Park Association, and teach your children something, and then go out to your neighborhood park and just enjoy, particularly on that day and any day. So, and then I know there's all sorts of information. How do we get young people involved in interested in parks, right, Benson? Yeah. Usually, like kids, like parents with little kids may go to parks, but we're saying anybody go to the parks.
Anybody and everybody. You don't have to have a child. You don't have to go to the playground, because if you even go to Centennial Park, there's no playground there. but yet we have a beautiful, beautiful gazebo that you can go look at, you can get married at, you can just sit and watch. You have the swing pavilion that's there, just going rocking back and forth and back and forth. I'm just letting you know there's plenty of things as an adult. I am an adult myself, and I still go to the park. You know why? Because I love it.
Yeah.
I know there I'm gonna get the best mental health care that I can get for free. So definitely, you don't have to be a child. You don't have to have kids. You don't have to be a senior. You could be all ages to enjoy our parks.
Sure, and that's the Family Health and Family Fitness Day on June 11th. But like Benson said, it starts with parks. So, listen to that and just understand. I'm sure you've done it before. It's a fun thing to do, and we are just here promoting our city parks. And Benson, I know you're super busy. You're the park superintendent. How many? I mean, and thank you. I know with staffing and all, your staff is maintaining all of these city parks, right?
Yes.
That means what? Mowing, landscaping.
We also take care of the cemetery. So the cemetery is under us. So we definitely have contractors over there. Then when you want to go at the saddest hour, of course, definitely we are there to support and to show areas where you can actually bury your loved ones. We take care of medians. We also take care of the downtown area. So as you know, the downtown area is a poppin' downtown. And definitely, again, also, I forgot to say, downtown, because it's an outdoor space, when you do go out to eat at these downtown restaurants, do not be afraid. Like, say, for instance, you don't want to walk on June 11th. If you want to go to, like, a restaurant, just tell them, hey, can I sit outside, please? Because you know why? You're sitting outside at a public space, which is considered a park entity, and you're able to still get that same love with the kiss of the sun and the kiss of the clouds and everything like that. So again, don't be afraid to sit outside. The AC is good, but sitting outside on certain times of day, it's the same thing as AC. So don't be afraid to do that as well. So yes.
And that's Saturday, actually. June 11th is a Saturday. I checked that. And see, for those listeners, you're like, okay, these two people, she likes parks. She loves parks. He loves parks. Okay, yes, you can hear it in our voices. And I know during the pandemic, I personally was able to ride my bike through, and that helped me totally, because that was one thing. The parks were not closed. It was, and that was a great, great avenue for people to get out and breathe in some fresh air and all of that. So, but okay, anything else we want to share at this point, Benson, about Family Health and Family Fitness Day, or just anything in general? I love that it starts with parks. It
definitely starts in parks. Like, one thing that my director, Lisa Jones, always says is that when you go to any city, the first thing that stands out is the parks, the grounds. So it's not like any other department is better than anything, but it starts in parks. Like, if you look at any great city, any wonderful city, like the parks department or the parks itself they stand out, So in city of Sanford, the parks stand out, from Fort Mellon to Riverwalk to Leapy to all our parks. Academy, Mother Ruby Wilson and Academy Manor Park. All these sites stand out either because of the history of it, or just because it's a park, and these parks are here for you to serve you, like the parks itself, so definitely come out and enjoy. Like, one of the stories that I would always say is that I'm originally from Miami, and this is the reason why I love parks itself. And quick story is that I was always a smaller guy, but one thing I was always good at was playing basketball, right? And so I was always able to play basketball at the parks, and my friendships that I established, the people that didn't do anything to me, is because of parks. So I got to get to know Hispanic friends. I got to know white friends. I got to know Jewish friends. I got to know Haitians, any Caribbean. And that's because of parks. And that's the most amazing thing about parks, that it doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter your religion. It doesn't matter who you voted for. Parks don't care. We don't care. We just want you to come out, get fit, be healthy, and just turn up with us.
That's right.
So definitely enjoy our parks, because they're here for you, no matter who you are. We love you, and we want you to come out and enjoy our parks.
And that's a great note to end on. Is just encouraging everybody to get fit, stay healthy. Everyone, and enjoy the city of Sanford Parks. And Benson, your staff, yourself, thank you for all that you do each and every day. And you're right. When you go to a city, go to our website, especially when you come to Sanford. If you live here, we have an interactive map, I believe, of every single city park, and then there's also a lot of amenities at these parks, and you could determine what you would prefer at a certain park. And so a lot of people know our flagship park, which is Fort Mellon, right in downtown. But like Benson was saying, there's parks all over the city and throughout your neighborhoods that you already probably know of. And if you're not from here, it's just interesting to take a look and drive around town. Also, Riverwalk is, from what I understand, it's a linear park, which is something that I just learned. Because,
5 miles plus,
right?
yes.
So, so we have a lot to offer in the city, and we appreciate you, Benson, being on this show. And it starts with parks. I think we need a T-shirt now that says that.
We're gonna talk to Lisa. We're gonna get this started.
Yes.
It start with parks.
Yes. All right. Well, thank you, Benson,
No
for
problem.
being on the Cities podcast in this episode. This is Lisa Holder, Chief Communications and Cultural Affairs Administrator for the City of Sanford. Thank you for listening to Sanford Says. You can find this podcast wherever you listen to and subscribe to your favorite podcast, and on the city website at sanfordfl.gov. Thank you, and we'll talk to you next time. Have a great day. Bye now.